You have cast to vote, of course. What would you like to tell us about your observation since you stepped your foot in the building?
Well, yes, alhamdulillah, I've just casted my vote, and my observation is actually, I don't know, maybe it's 2 o'clock, but the turnout is very low, that's what I see. But I've also consulted with the people out there, and I think it has been the same way since in the morning that the turnout is very low, so which is very common when it comes to parliamentary elections. But that's not what we expect. We expect that people understand that in as much as the executive is important, the legislative body, which is the National Assembly, is also equally important because it's one arm of the government and it's responsible to hold the executive accountable. So people need to take it more serious and understand what a National Assembly role is. But, the most important thing is that those that are willing have come and they've casted their votes.
Talking about understanding, don't you think civic education is lacking when it comes to the general public?
Yeah, of course, yes, it is. Because most of the time people believe that the presidential is the most important. That's why when you come during the presidential, until this time, the queue was very long. But here is the low turnout. So that civic education is something that all of us, collectively, government, the civil society, and the media, is supposed to intensify so that in the future we would avoid recurrence of this.
What will this portray in our political system? Like whenever it is presidential election, people will come out in masses and vote. But when it comes to local government election, it's always like this.
Well, I think for me, it's, like you said, it's more about people's understanding of the importance, the significance of it. And that is where we need to do more work to ensure that Gambians understand that presidential is important, parliamentary is important, local government is important. Because these are the governance system of the country. And if you don't come out to vote, the tendency is that you might end up having the wrong person in the parliament or somewhere else, and then people continue to complain. But if you know this is your candidate, you know he has what it takes to take the country forward or to take your constituency forward, you come out and vote.
Since you cast your votes, what would you like to tell those who are listening at home, and of course, the supporters of various candidates who are expected to celebrate their victory upon the announcement of the final results by the presiding officer of the IEC, the returning officer, one could say? What would you like to advise those who are listening to Honorable Minister?
Well, the advice is the same, I guess, is just to maintain peace at all time. We know the elections is a process, one of the democratization process, and for people to come out and vote, that's one thing. Of course, the IEC has a responsibility to announce the winner based on the number of votes that have been casted. So once the announcement is done, the most important thing is for people to accept it in good faith. Those that win, celebrate in peace, and those that have lost, also, accept that they have lost and prepare for the future elections. I think that's the most important. And I believe that's what's going to happen. I don't think people are going to do anything that is going to be contrary to the laws of the land. And, we've seen it in the past when elections are counted. And our electoral process is very transparent. The counting is done on the spot, so there is no possibility for anybody to say, I was cheated at the voting process, because once the box is open, you have your agent there. He or she knows exactly how much you get in that stream. And then in the polling center together, they know how much they got. So once the IEC announced, that's just a formality to say this is what came. But parties do know what their candidates get, even before the IEC gets to know at the main office. So for me, it's a simple process that shouldn't warrant any issues.
Well, thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome.